I'm in the back.
How'd you know I was here?
Who else be in your truck?
You heard it?
How's that?
You heard me? You having fun with me?
We'll give you that idea. I seen one of the cats heard it.
But how'd you know it was mine?
I deduced it once you walked in.
How many of those things you got now?
Cats? Well, several. Depends what you mean by got. Some are half wild and some are just outlaws.
How you been, Ellis?
You looking at it. I got to say, you look older.
I am older.
Got a letter from your wife. She writes pretty regular. Tells me the family news.
Didn't know there was any.
She told me you was quitting.
Want a cup?
Appreciate it.
How fresh is this coffee?
I generally make a fresh pot over a week, even if there's some left over.
That man that shot you died in prison.
In Angola? Yeah.
Now, what would you have done if he'd been released?
Oh, I don't know. Nothing. Wouldn't be no point to it.
I'm kind of surprised to hear you say that.
All the time you spend trying to get back what's been took from you, there's more going out the door. After a while, you just try to get a tourniquet on it. Your granddad never asked me to sign on as a deputy. I done that my own self. Loretta says you're quitting. How come you're doing that?
I don't know. I just feel overmatched. I always thought when I got older, God would sort of come into my life in some way. He didn't. I don't blame him. If I was him, I'd have the same opinion about me that he does.
You don't know what he thinks. Sent Uncle Mac's Thumbbuster and badge to the Rangers for their museum there. Your daddy ever tell you how Uncle Mac come to his reward? Shot down on his own porch there in Hudspeth County. There's 7 or 8 of them come to the house, wanting this, wanting that. Mac went back in and got a shotgun, but, well, they was ahead of him. Shot him down in his doorway. Aunt Ella run out, tried to stop the bleeding. Him all the while trying to get a hold of that shotgun. They just sit there on their horses, watching him die. Finally, one of them says something in Indian, and they all turned and left out. Well, Mac knew the score, even if Aunt Ella didn't. Shot through the left lung, and that was that, as they say.
When did he die?
1909.
No, I mean, was it right away or not, or when was it?
Believe it was that night. Buried him the next morning, digging in that hard old caliche. What you got ain't nothing new. This country's hard on people. Can't stop what's coming. They ain't all waiting on you. That's vanity.
Killed it, and that's the tooth.
Oh my God. What a good movie and what a great script.
What a good run.
Thank you for putting your heart into that, Mark.
You're welcome, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I know how much that this means to you, and I wasn't going to half-ass it.
Well, you know, this movie means quite a lot to me.
Yes, it do.
It's quite a good movie.
I was going to be like, how did you know I was here? You heard it? Are you having fun with thou? No, I'm going to fuck with you.
No, if like one of us was taking it like super serious, and then the other was just not.
Yeah, it would really make the whole scene kind of shit.
Yeah, well, you know, it's fine.
It
was kind of shit anyway. That's okay.
Thanks, man. Hey, man.
No, you did a great job.
I put in all my passion.
Put in passion. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 14th episode of Egg in a Bottle. I'm your host, along with your other host, Kyle Watts, and I'm with Mark Ortega.
What did it do? Sorry.
It's all right. It's
Is
all
this
right.
the second week in a row?
It's kind of a thing now. I'm real glad that all of you are listening.
I thought you were going to say, I'm real glad that it's just us this week.
Oh, no.
But it is just
That's
us.
another thing. Hey,
Howdy.
easy segue there. It
Easy
is
segue.
just us this week. I want to say we didn't do a thing that we said we were going to do last week. We didn't put it up on Spotify feeds.
It's
but
harder than it seems.
It's very hard.
And it costs money.
It does cost money. We didn't know that when we made that
Which
promise.
is not
but
in our wheelhouse.
which maybe we shouldn't have.
Maybe we're just lacking passion.
It could be. But I'm looking into Spotify, and I've seen some things we could do, possibly. It doesn't look like it costs money, but I'm not really sure.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at right now. But I don't want to do a whole 15-minute section of house cleaning again like we did last week.
Yep.
But We don't really have anything on the docket today.
I don't even have a docket, to be fair.
Yeah, well, it's,
That's my own fault.
I think we're just going to fly by the seat of our pants this week, just kind of
Correct.
see where life takes us because, it's good to be here. Good to be alive.
Yeah, it is.
It's good to be here.
Do you see that my hair is wet?
Yeah.
I showered.
You took our advice and
I
showered.
took your advice and showered. Yeah.
Yeah. Does your hair always sit like that? Or do you have to kind of form it?
I kind of put some water and just kind of formed it. I mean, it's been doing it for so long. It's trained.
Okay.
It
gotcha.
knows what it is.
It's got the cowlick going on.
Yes, it do.
No, I definitely understand. My hair kind of does the same thing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of flips, whether I like it or not.
Little fleep.
Little fleep. But, God.
Sorry.
So yeah, don't really know what we're gonna be talking about today, but I guess we could start out with something we didn't do last week. How's your week going, Mark?
We didn't do that last week.
No, we didn't. I just realized.
Damn.
I guess I don't give a fuck.
Today you do. Pretty good. This week seemed to go by pretty fast. Maybe I'm full of shit, but I
it's quick.
thought it was pretty
It's
quick.
a quick boy.
It's already Friday. Quick boy. What a fasty dude. Yeah, it was good.
Oh, that's another thing. We're recording it on a Friday,
As opposed to
your man had
Thursday.
to work.
Motherfucker.
Your man had to close it down. Let me tell you about some noodle business. Is that we get some fuckers, right, that like come in 10 minutes before we close. And I'm sure this is true of any restaurant.
Just
and
any place that has a close time.
Yeah, yeah, really. And this lady comes in. I'm not gonna name her, but and she orders so much shit, and it's set up to where we can really get a lot of our shit closed before we're closed.
Mhm.
You know, like we've gotten good enough to where it's just it be how it do. But like but then you run the risk of if you clean too much and then someone comes in. I mean, you can't just not make their food. So.
Yes, you can.
I mean, you could, but then you get fired. That's what happens next.
Man, we're closed.
Man, we're closed.
Man, we're closed.
Actually, you don't close for another 15 minutes, gang.
Yeah, but you see that stove? I unplugged it. We're closed.
I can give you raw noodles if you want.
if that's your thing, ma'am.
But that's your thing, man. Still no pickles. We're gonna catch a freaking copyright claim.
No,
or
it's not
something.
still no pickles. Wait.
Yeah, it's still no pickles.
Oh, yeah, because he was lying. It was underneath
Yeah,
his
under
tongue.
his tongue.
What a bastard.
Yeah, asshole.
Do you want to talk about that halftime show?
I don't because it was crap. It was so bad. Did you watch it?
I saw clips of it because I don't watch football. I think it was a bad Super Bowl.
I want to get your
general.
Oh yeah, it was a defensive struggle, like it was
Mhm.
good defense on both sides. But in my opinion, it was less that it was great defense and more that it was just incompetent offense. like Goff, what the fuck? Like
Moron.
just weren't giving Todd Gurley the ball at all, even though like that game was a perfect time to be running the ball every snap because nobody was scoring. It wasn't like they were down 20 points and they had to throw the ball. No, it was just it was 3-0 till the fourth quarter.
And even the thing that I watched Super Bowl for, which is like the trailers, all the stuff that released it was kind of shit this year too. Like nothing happened that we didn't know was already happening.
Yeah, they showed the end game spot
It's like
before the
that was
game
like
even
It
started.
was like 6 seconds.
Yeah. It's like not us, which was cool.
It
It was neat.
It was a good trailer, but I was expecting more from movies that I didn't know were happening because most time
Yeah.
people bring their big trailers to the Super Bowl. It was like, oh, all these movies like Alita. I thought it was
Battle
out
Angel?
already.
I think it is.
It comes out next Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, why is this trailer? Oh, it's not out yet.
Are
Oh,
you
God.
interested in seeing that?
Not really.
It's a little strange.
It
It's
is a
just
little
strange. Her
strange.
eyes, I just can't really. I
They're
mean, I
trying to do
understand
the
that
anime thing.
Yeah, but it's
Just make it an animated movie.
yeah. Don't be weird.
That'd be weird.
That'd be weird. I don't. I'm a big manga guy, so I don't know a thing about
Alita.
anything
Neither do I.
in that regard.
Was it a show or is it just a manga?
A manga.
Just,
I think it was just a manga.
Just manga. Okay.
People are losing their shit. It's manga.
It's manga, you fucking moron.
Losing their shit right now. I bet Rich is losing his
We're
mind
just
right
having
now.
a fucking Or no, or who's like, y'all nerds read.
But yeah, I actually wanted to ask you about the halftime show because is Adam Levine a good singer? And I mean that genuinely.
Historically, I'm not sure.
like I
Is
can't.
it mostly auto-tune or what's his deal?
I don't know. Like he's got a very falsetto-y voice, like.
And that gets kind of annoying after 12 years of him being a singer.
Yeah, and I mean, like,
whatever.
he's obviously a talented dude in some respect.
Yeah.
You know, like he's clearly got. I also think it has to do with the fact that he's handsome and he took his shirt off. You know,
That's the only reason.
Which-
People aren't talking
his
more shit
tattoos
about
were
it.
so cringe. His tattoos are bad.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the
Oh,
episode.
you didn't see it?
No, I mean, I saw him. I was like, I don't care enough to like look into his tats.
Well, with every like the show is broken up into how many articles of clothing he took off. Because like he started off with like a trench coat on and everything, and then he
Mhm.
took the trench coat off,
and
and
he
he had
flashed the entire crowd.
right.
Yeah, he had his
he has
Adam Ladon.
he had his Adam Levine out. That's the name of his dick. Dudes are named
No,
after
no,
their dicks.
It's Adam Levine. Because
big old vein.
yeah, there it is.
Oh.
And I'm out.
And I did it. Okay, sorry. No, but okay. So I don't know how old he is, but his tattoos remind me of like a 45-year-old
He's probably in his 40s, I'd say.
who like is a little flabby.
Mm.
But it was weird. He didn't look flabby, but he didn't look. He looked like he had surgery to make himself not look flabby.
He looks like a father.
right in the worst way.
And yeah.
And like he's his body's tight, but he's not toned.
Mm-hmm.
So his body just looks like it's held together by surgery.
It's like that Simpson meme where he's like pulling back his skin. He has like clips behind him.
Right, that's exactly what it looks like. Yes.
That's terrible.
Like, because like when he took his shirt off, I didn't see abs. I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention.
Maybe.
But I was paying attention, let me tell you. I'm looking deep.
Passion. Deep. Oh my God.
But yeah, so he I don't know. It's like he looked tight, but did not look toned. Tight, not toned.
You can't make direct eye contact with me when you say he looked tight.
That's the name of the episode, though.
He looked tight.
Or tight, not toned.
I like tight, not toned.
Right. Okay. Tight, not
Patient.
toned. Okay.
Do you want to talk about the Travis Scott SpongeBob thing?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna get to.
You know how much that pissed me off?
It was such a fucking travesty.
Who the fuck cares about sicko mode still?
Yeah, nobody.
Little white kids?
Not.
And Hannah?
Oh, does Hannah like it?
Yeah.
Really?
What a moron.
That's God, why you gotta be so mean to Hannah?
I'm just saying, man. Okay, it'd be fine if it didn't go over the SpongeBob thing. Like the writer
Yeah,
just died.
Yeah.
And you're gonna play 4 seconds of the most beloved episode of SpongeBob. I'm like, nah, fuck it. Let's bring this dude who can't sing live on.
Yeah. Let's bring in Travis Scott.
What a moron.
Let's use this once in a lifetime opportunity to bring in Travis Scott.
The
Yeah,
guy who
that's what
the
people
the
want.
guy who can't sing good without
Yeah.
auto tune.
This was one of the worst halftime shows I've ever
This is
seen.
the worst Super Bowl of all time.
Well, it was a bad Super Bowl. And
Like
it was,
if you put everything in like a blender, like the halftime show, the trailers, the game itself, is like, oh, this is like a D+.
garbage, yeah, because the game was shit, the
Mhm.
halftime was shit, the
Yep.
commercials were
Dog shit.
Did you see the robot commercial?
Which Wilbur commercial?
It was the one with the little kid, and they're like, it was TurboTax, and they're basically saying, you can't do that, robot. You're not advanced enough to have human
Oh, it was like a
characteristics.
baby?
Yeah, it was creepy
That
as
was
hell. It
upsetting.
was fucking weird.
You know what the last commercial for that same tax thing was?
What?
It was Infinity War based.
Oh,
It's
was it?
because the Avengers were fighting in the streets, and
Oh.
her car gets flipped. She's like, I need insurance. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, I actually kind of like that.
Yeah.
All right. I can get down with that. But
Yeah.
then there was the weird ASMR beer commercial. Did you see that?
Oh, I'm glad that I didn't.
It was very strange. Like, I like ASMR. Like, I'm a diehard defender of it because I
Nasty.
can't fucking sleep without it.
I can sleep. I
But-
can do
I
can
I
do
sleep better
anything
without it.
it.
Yeah. Well, I love the shit out of it. But this was a beer commercial, and they had this really hot girl, like,
Mm.
whispering into the mics. This is the Super Bowl. This is the biggest, like, thing in America.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know if it
In
really
terms
is.
of like people like watching.
Yeah,
it, I
and
guess.
like they're showing this ASMR commercial, and she starts doing the. I'm gonna do it in the mic.
Ugh.
Doing the thing
That's
on the
upsetting.
with. And I don't have nails, so I
Yeah,
can't do it really
huge
well.
nails.
But like with the beer bottle, like into the mic, I'm like, this is weird for me. And I like this stuff.
Like I'm in, but this is so gross.
Yeah, like this is, because I feel like ASMR is one of those things you don't like. You're into, but you don't really talk about. Because
Yeah,
like,
it's not something you bring up
it's like-
mainstream.
yeah, it's like I like listening to people talk in low voices while I try to sleep. It's like.
You like a little bit of this.
Like a little bit of that, yeah.
Passion.
I'm gonna sleep real good tonight. No, but yeah, so that was very strange. But there
There was a Bud Light like Game of Thrones mix-up
Yeah,
commercial?
I saw that.
Like, what was it? The Bud Knight?
The Bud Light night got done dirty.
He got murdered by the mountain or
Yeah, I
something?
hated well, that's a reference to one of the episodes.
Okay. See, I haven't watched the show.
Because the dude gets his melon squished.
I've
by that guy.
I've never watched the show, so.
Yeah, well, that's what they were referencing, and it pissed me off. I didn't like that.
I didn't like it at all.
I like the Bud Light night, and I don't like how they did it.
I like the Bud Light night.
Yeah.
Because he was
dark
in
man.
he was in the last year's one, right?
Yeah,
And now he's canonically dead. Wait, is this commercial canon to
I
the
don't
Bud
know.
Night Light
I haven't
cinematic
seen-
universe, or
I haven't seen a new commercial
right.
with the Bud Light night, so I don't like. I guess
I don't want this.
His
to be
ghost will
canon.
just show
his
up.
Ghost. He's like fucking. I was about to say Starscream's gonna loop around the Transformers again. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry,
so
guys.
Sorry.
sorry.
In the show, after Starscream dies in the movie, he comes back as a ghost. I apologize.
You say
That's
what-
it.
You say what you know. You say what you know.
That is the only thing that comes to mind.
Well, so what else? Oh, I did like the part where the king is like, I just got over the plague. Like he just,
like he just shook the flu or something.
yeah, like that's the way he said it. It was funny as hell. I loved it.
Man.
But
That's the one good part.
those Bud Light commercials are always good. But I didn't like that one. I am excited for Game of Thrones to start back up pretty soon here.
I haven't started yet.
Yeah, it's within a couple months. The last season, if you start now and you really go hard, you can get
Oh,
done.
I won't go hard.
Well,
I have too many things to do.
yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
Now's not a great time to really commit to a show. Like I have shows I'm committed to. Like I'm watching, but I'm watching them at my own pace. Like I'm just watching like 1 or 2 episodes a day,
Sorry.
and then, well, it's like I'll eat lunch and watch an episode, and then I'll
Yep.
eat dinner and watch an episode. Usually, that's
Nice.
usually what I'll do. But
I'm gonna cut that bit.
yeah, that's what we said last week, and we didn't.
I did actually.
Did you cut all of it?
Yeah. Did you listen to all of it?
I listened to a good portion of it. Believe it or not.
no empty spaces.
No,
You're welcome.
I don't agree.
What do you mean?
Ew.
Sorry.
Please shouldn't cough into the mic. Can you imagine what people have done to this mic? These are not our mics. An entire department
As used
works with these mics.
Yeah. What can they possibly do to it though? What do you think is happening in this room?
Well, every time there's a plosive, a
It's spit.
spit
Well, I'm not licking these
all
mics
over.
anytime
Doesn't
soon.
matter. You
It
got
wouldn't
that
even matter.
freaking saliva debris.
I'm not like just that kind of hurt. Like inhaling all this debris into my mouth.
Dude, that's how you get the duck plague. You know what I'm talking about?
No. No.
Well, good.
Oh God.
Killed my daddy.
What were we talking about? We're talking about how do we get to the Super Bowl?
Right. We were talking about the halftime show.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I'm very disgusted by the NFL in a lot of ways, but that was just the. I mean, I'm still gonna watch the games, but that was the final straw. I'm like,
not.
I can't stand these people. Like, they're just fucking. They don't get it.
Yep.
They don't get it. Okay, I'm gonna relate a story to you. The
Oh,
Dallas
shit.
Stars are a hockey team.
Yep.
And they did a sweet victory, like during their halftime, like an intermission, because there's 3 periods in a hockey game.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 intermissions. In one of the intermissions, they did Sweet Victory. They had a little graphic that they played in like the jumbotron or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and they had and you know the part where they're like the Bikini Bottom Super Band, and like they rise out of the ground in
Yeah.
like the little dome.
Mm-hmm.
They had that, but they had the Dallas Stars ice rink,
Oh, that's
and they they came out of
See,
it.
that's cool.
And you know how they had shots of like the football fans,
Yeah.
like cheering and stuff like that, and they were like, well, these are weird looking fish, basically. And,
Yeah.
So they would intersperse shots of Dallas Stars fans instead.
That's so cool.
It was very cool, and they even changed the clothing to be green to match the Dallas Stars colors. I'm like, you get it.
you get it.
You get it.
Hockey, you understand.
Hockey, you understand.
NFL, you're a piece of shit.
More specifically, Dallas, you get it.
You get it.
You get it.
Good
I
job,
hate the
Texas.
Cowboys, but you get it.
I hate Texas. I'm okay with Texas.
Not on my
As a
Texas.
state,
It's
okay.
fine.
It's
all right.
It's
I like their hats.
I like their gun laws.
I like how big everything is.
You're right. Everything is huge there, right?
You know what I mean?
It's so weird.
You feeling me? Yeah, I know you're
I
feeling me.
dig.
Okay.
Passion.
But yeah, like I after seeing that, I was mortified because I'm like, I'm sorry, like you are the biggest.
Sports event ever,
Yeah,
and you couldn't do it.
yeah, you're fucking.
Or you did do it, and you half-assed it because you're a pussy.
yeah, because like I would have taken just a 2-minute halftime because that song's not long.
It's not.
It's 2 minutes. You know,
It's like I think during the episode, when the end of the song starts playing, like the credits are already rolling.
I don't
That's
know.
how
It's been a while
far
since I've seen
down it is in the episode.
But it's like it has that freeze frame of Squidward like leaping into the air. In a lot of people's opinion, that's the end of the series.
Really?
Like because Squidward's finally triumphant. Like he's
Like,
finally happy. Like I'm
canonically,
getting
that's where it
goosebumps
ends.
actually talking about.
That's gross. You're like, oh, I love
It's so
good cinematic ending.
It is though, because like I mean, he spends all this time just fucking run through the ringer, and then he finally just has his triumphant moment. It's like, oh, that's so good. In a lot of people's opinion, that's the end of the series, and I
It's
wouldn't.
the first time that I've heard of that. Is there like a Reddit thread?
Well, there's a video on YouTube that it's like a video essay that they do, and they do it on SpongeBob. It's actually quite fascinating, and it like talks about how the best episodes of SpongeBob involve Squidward and SpongeBob together in some circumstance, and I agree. Like you think about it, the pizza delivery episode.
I love that episode.
It's SpongeBob and Squidward the entire time.
Squidward is his
Foil.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
exactly what he is.
He's his foil, and you know SpongeBob's like 30.
As a character?
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
He's a 30-year-old man.
That's so weird.
It's crazy.
He's a fucking weirdo if he's 30.
Well, and it's just it's the way that like okay, so SpongeBob looks at life one way. They're both about young adults basically is what they
Mhm.
are, and they're both working the same piece of shit job with the same piece of shit like situation. They're both single, and it's just fascinating like how they deal with life like
Mhm.
differently. And like Squidward is obviously more negative and things like that. But in that moment, and there's moments that he brings up in the video, like when Squidward takes up for him with the pizza guy, he like throws a pizza in his face. It just adds more depth. And then like as the series went on, they started to the term is flanderizing. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's based off of the
Simpsons, right?
the Simpsons guy, Flanders. Originally, he was just this, sort of religious, sort of sweet father who was a bit of a fool, but he wasn't a moron, you know what I mean? But now, like, they just upped the whole, like, religious craziness thing, and, like, they made him a caricature. They kind of did the same thing with SpongeBob, like, where Squidward is this just pathetic, like, thing, and SpongeBob just gets more and more annoying.
Ridiculous.
Well, yeah, whereas in the beginning of the series, they were actually, like, seemed like people, like, they would get annoyed with each other, they'd be happy for each other, sometimes, very rarely, but, sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
They'd do things for each other, like, it genuinely felt like a cartoon, but it had this feeling of realism. That's why the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob are so beloved, in my opinion. Like, I'm actually watching them again on Amazon Prime.
Nice.
And it's so good. Like, it's so funny. Like, not one joke
Doesn't
fails
land.
to make me laugh.
Mhm.
Like, every time they're like, you get that freaking punchline, like, it gets me every time. I don't care, like, what it is. I don't care how many times I see SpongeBob rip his pants. I laugh every time.
It's good. It's good episode.
Or probably my favorite.
Nosferatu. He's flicking the light.
Or that's another thing about SpongeBob.
What's up?
Some of these jokes, Nosferatu, that's a fucking vampire movie.
Kids don't know who the first vampire is.
No, and I didn't until you just said it. like I am now years old and I understand it finally.
Oh my god.
And like Nosferatu, it's a fucking
It's a
vampire.
vampire.
I get it. Oh, it's so funny. And there's actually a video like comparing like Nosferatu and like that episode of SpongeBob, or one of the episodes, like one of the creepier ones.
Yeah.
And it's like the comparisons, like, oh my god, it's so funny.
That's so weird.
Anyway, but what I was gonna say, the leaf blower or the leaf blower episode.
Where Squidward goes to his own community full of squid people. Or am I thinking of the wrong one?
No, that's a different one. It's in season 1. It's like the second episode, I want to say. It's because they broke them up in like 10-minute chunks. There'd be like 2 or 3 episodes. There'd be like 2 10-minute episodes and like one where it's like really short.
Yeah.
The leaf blower one, there's no dialogue in it. It's only like 2 minutes. Like it's literally one gag, and pretty much it's like one concept piece. It's there's a bunch of sand piles in Squidward's yard. Or no. There's a like a little shell falls in Squidward's yard, and he like kicks it over to SpongeBob's lawn or sand, and there's all these like sand piles in SpongeBob's yard, and he pulls out his leaf blower and he's gonna blow them, blow the leaves basically. And he blows the sand onto Squidward when he's sitting outside trying to eat his piece of lettuce or whatever, and he covers him in sand. He's just like sand, man. You just see his eyes, and he goes over there and he blows him off, right? And his nose flying everywhere, and then he gets it all over his piece of lettuce, and SpongeBob's like, "Oh crap!" And like he holds up the lettuce in front of his eyes and blows the sand into his eyes, and it's just like, and then it's just a picture of Squidward. It's like his eyes are watering.
Oh God. That's the whole episode?
No, that's not the whole episode. But
Oh my
that's like one of the parts of it. And I was watching it with my brother. I couldn't stop laughing. Like the way his eyes, like I probably watched it 30 times.
Oh my God.
It was so fucking hilarious. Like it. Oh my God, it's so funny. And like, trying to think of another classic scene. Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza for you and me. I actually talked to somebody at work. When he starts beatboxing, his hat is backwards.
That's so fucking funny.
That's
so funny.
He's
That's
like,
so dumb.
and then he turns his butt. He starts shaking it. It's like,
But it's like blocky.
yeah, it's like 2 blocks split.
What a show.
And then my favorite part, Krusty Krab, yeah, pizza.
Dude, what a show.
It's
And people are like, SpongeBob is for morons. Fuck you.
yeah, it's what are you talking about? It's intelligent humor, man.
It's great humor.
I mean, it has its dumb shit, but I mean, it was ahead of its time in that way, where like it recognized that like cerebral comedy and slapstick can exist together.
Mhm.
You know, like I'm sure it wasn't the first to do that,
But still.
but it was my first experience seeing that. You know, this sort of like highbrow humor mixed with slapstick. It was very, very cool.
You forgot my drink. What?
What drink?
I ordered a Diet Dr. Kelp. Where's my drink?
You know, I was actually the chocolate episode, and I was talking to somebody at work about this. We do a lot of SpongeBob talk at work.
I can only imagine.
The lady, the thing that looks like a spinal cord that's sitting in the in the
He does look like a spinal cord.
in the wheelchair, where she's funny. Don't get me wrong.
No, she's fucking hilarious.
But the daughter, who's like, they're selling chocolate. She's almost funnier.
What are they selling?
Chocolate.
They're selling chocolate.
Her freaking Boston accent. I hate it.
I love it so much.
They're selling chocolate.
What are they selling? They're
selling chocolate. Sounds like Mark Wahlberg.
Her freaking tits are like hanging, like they're sagging and shit.
Oh, she's a fish. That's a great episode.
Sometimes an amphibian has mammaries. I don't.
Oh my
really
God,
understand
I
that.
love when that guy with the weak bones, he's glass.
Oh yeah.
How he sold him the infinite bags or whatever. Just
Yeah.
keep zipping. And he can't find his wallet or something.
yeah. Oh my
God.
God, I love that.
What a show.
Or the bubble man. Where
Is it man or boy?
boy? Yeah, you're right.
Bubble boy.
Bubble boy. He's got a freaking
He has hat on.
bubble hat.
At the end, did he leave with his dad or something?
well, no. He's a grown man. He's just called him Bubble Boy.
It's so funny.
And he's just like, he shakes his hand. He like cleans his hand. And then Patrick's like staring at. He's sad.
It's just squeaky. He's like,
Yeah,
oh
he's like,
God,
Oh, squeaky
dude, what
clean.
the fuck? Or when SpongeBob has to paint Mr. Krabs' house.
Yes.
classic
yeah,
episode.
yeah. Classic episode. And like they fuck up one time and they put this like a mile-long set of pictures. And he's just tossing them apart. He's just throwing them. Oh my God, it's so funny. So good. Or one of my favorite episodes, underrated episode in my opinion, is when they're on the Dutchman ship.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going. You're good.
You're good. It's just scraping on the rocks.
And stop. Not a problem. Just buff out those scratches. Just destroyed.
Is that the one where it's like, lead?
Yes. Yeah. Lead. Ow. and they run through the like the whole horrible thing of the episodes. They have to run through the God, what is it called? The department store.
Yes.
With the smells.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just all dramatic. They're like, yeah. When they like leap at the very end.
God damn it.
They're like
Keep hitting
dragging
the
each
mic.
other.
Yeah. Or what's the one where SpongeBob buys all those night lights?
I don't remember that one.
He
But
buys all these night lights.
oh my God.
I think he watched like a movie or something, or a scary movie or something.
Oh, and he has them like his walls just
It's
covered
in
in
night lights, and he buys like this
Yes.
bar sign, and he hangs in his room.
Yeah.
And his His room is fully lit, and he can't go to bed. He goes back to this department store every 5 seconds. Like, I'm just here again. Don't mind me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah. I need another night light.
It's just a month of him running in, and he gets like 1, 2, and he grabs like 500, and just leaves the stack of cash on the counter.
Yeah. There's also the episode where, and it's turned into a SpongeBob podcast.
That's fine.
The
We'll
part,
switch up eventually.
the part where it's like a noir detective thing. In one of the earlier seasons, and he's sitting there in the diner with that cup of coffee, like it's in a lot of memes, and he's just
Like it's
sitting there like,
raining.
yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
where he loses his card? He loses his
Driver's
name card.
Right,
His
yeah,
name
yeah,
tag.
yeah, and he can't remember. He's got like an identity crisis.
Such an idiot.
I fucking love it. It's so funny.
He's sitting at the bar of this like diner, and no one is like listening to him. He's talking like, "Who the fuck is that kid? What is he talking
He's
about?"
got the narration going. He hasn't touched his coffee.
No.
He hasn't touched it. He's just got it there, just stirring the spoon.
You want to know how? You want to know how I lost my identity? Who are you? It's 4 a.m.
I lost my identity.
Oh yeah, they were talking, and he goes, "I lost my identity once." He's like, "We weren't talking about that." But thanks, I guess. I'm so fucking stupid.
And you know the jazz song that's playing, I found it on YouTube and I saved it.
God.
I saved the video. I
bet you
listen to
did.
it when I read sometimes.
That's great, man. Strange boy.
I love it. Oh, what a great
God,
show.
What a great show.
I'll definitely bring up some more memories of that show. The fucking when they throw the peanut at the clam. You remember that episode?
Oh.
And they chain Patrick. He's like, I get what I deserve. And then he starts swallowing the peanuts. And then he swallows them all. He's like, ouch.
It's like in the zoo, and there's like a big old clam there.
Yeah.
God. I don't like that universe sometimes. It's so weird.
It's so funny. Oh my god, I love it.
Remember when Patrick and this is a SpongeBob podcast.
Yeah, it's fine. It's all right.
Remember when Patrick and SpongeBob get like a little clam baby they raised together?
Yeah, that's a little
so
weird.
weird.
It's a little strange. Well, originally, I don't remember where I read this. It could be one of those urban myths that aren't real. But I remember reading somewhere that originally it was a Adult Swim show.
It was.
And
No, it was an MTV. I think it was meant
Okay.
for MTV.
Yeah,
and
and
they
like
were
SpongeBob and Patrick were like a gay couple.
really? I heard
Yeah.
that they were both like weed. Like SpongeBob was going to be like a bundle of weed instead of a sponge.
Oh, okay, I didn't know all that. The story I heard was that SpongeBob and Patrick were a gay couple.
Nice.
And like it was same thing with like Ren and Stimpy, because I don't know if you ever watched that show.
No.
Ren and Stimpy, it was heavily implied that Ren and Stimpy were gay, and it was there's some really fucked up shit like that like definitely not for kids. Like,
Yeah.
they were kind of subtle about it in the first couple seasons, but then like the creator of the show left, and when he came back, he did this thing. It was a more adult Ren and Stimpy, basically.
Mhm.
And there's this scene where they put their lumberjacks, and
I know exactly.
you know what I'm talking
I've
about.
seen it in memes.
And Ren's got the log on his butt.
And the guy puts his little hacksaw in between his legs and starts like he's fucking him.
Yeah.
It's
And-
insane.
And then he starts like and I'll get to the best part of that part. He like looks back at him. He's like, "Are you gonna finish, Stimpy?
Oh my God.
Like, are you gonna finish the job?" And he like
Oh.
basically asks him to beg for it.
Jesus Christ.
And then at the very end, when he finishes, there's a pile of sawdust on his back.
dude, what the fuck?
It's so fucking
That's
weird.
so gross.
And then,
Check, please.
and then at the very end is
Yes,
like,
officer. This show right here.
everything, and then at the very end, the saw goes limp. It goes flaccid.
Oh, that's so fucking dumb. You're kidding me.
I'm totally
Oh,
not. It's
gross.
So strange.
Oh, God.
Ren and Stimpy's freaking
Oh,
wild.
gross.
At that point, I think
Disgusting.
it felt like Ren and Stimpy was trying too hard at certain points, but like in the beginning, like when it was like more subtle,
Mm-hmm.
it was a great show. Like it was really cool.
It was just like people coming on people's backs. What happened?
Sawdust come.
God damn it.
But that I noticed that detail when I watched it most recently. I watch it often.
Especially that scene.
Yeah, but anyway, so
Passion.
That's the thing, I guess. That's the thing today.
That's the tooth. What the thing is passion today?
Passion.
Passion. Speaking of things we're passionate about, Battle Royale games. I'm kidding. I fucking hate them. Kyle,
Yeah.
what's your opinion?
I'm not a big fan, man.
Yeah.
I love how you segued into that because we talking about this.
Yeah, we did.
It's not so much of a graceful segue if I keep bringing up that it was a
I was,
graceful segue.
this is the second time you've done it this episode.
It's all right. It's fine.
I bring up Battle Royale games because I think it was beginning of this week was the announcement and launch of a game called Apex Legends.
Yes, sir.
which takes place in the Titanfall world. Titanfall being the game about you being a dude who has a giant mech friend, and it's pretty cool. Did you play the original 2 Titanfalls?
I played yeah, I did actually. I spent way more time with the second one because
Same.
the campaign was
It's amazing.
awesome.
Oh my god.
it felt like an old NES game. And what I
Mhm.
mean by that is every level was different. Like every level introduced a new like gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't long. I actually wish it was longer. Like
Me too.
I could go for 20 hours of that shit. Like if they just kept releasing things with like new levels, just new gimmicks, dude, sign me the
There's
fuck
this
up.
one I almost said whatever. There's this one level where you have a time travel
Yeah,
gimmick.
that's
and
the
it's
best-
one
yes.
one level and they never touched again. That's awesome. I like that shit a lot.
they take it as far as it can go. They start out real subtle with it,
Mhm.
and then they slowly ramp it up with every mechanic they introduce. And then at the end, it's just balls to the wall. You're like switching times. You can see the little like sparkling like of where enemies are if you're in the different world
Mhm.
or like the different timeline. And dude, it's
such a great game. I would die for that robot.
Yeah, oh yeah,
I forgot his name. Is it BT?
BT. Yeah.
I'd fucking die for that
BT.
robot. He's so great. Too
Yeah.
bad he's dead. Spoiler alert.
Well, he's
his core is alive, right?
well, no, his core. The theory is his core's in Jack Cooper's helmet because he said I'm gonna put a piece of myself into your helmet so I can keep track of where you're going. It's just throwaway line.
Okay, but
it
maybe
doesn't
it's not so throwaway.
Yeah, it actually could
Okay.
like be BT's return. You
I
know, like
want to see him again because they were such a good.
Yeah, they were
and
cute.
BT was so great, man. I just love how because I don't think it's in Titanfall 1 how you could just he would fucking throw you if you asked him to. It's such a I just love that relationship between giant robot and small man.
yeah, it's just
and
like
he was
trust
just he
me.
was just so nice. He has like trust me, throw you. I'm like no, please. That's so great.
But I remember that game came out.
2015, 14 maybe.
Yeah, and then no, it was 2016 because that was the year. That was one of the best years for shooters for me because Titanfall 2 and Doom 2016 came out that
Hell
year.
yeah.
So like I was fucking set on shooters for a while. I could use another one to be honest. I need that shit in my veins.
When does Doom?
I don't know. There's no release date yet.
There's not.
Not yet.
Dude, what the fuck?
Dude, take all the time you need.
Take
all the time you need.
Take all the time to get all that fishing in there.
Because I mean, it just seems like all they had to do with the new Doom was just give me more,
Give me a sword.
which they did.
And they did.
They did that
Give
for
me
you.
more.
Although your sword in the first game was the chainsaw.
Yeah, but now you have both.
Yeah, and then
I'm
in
so-
theory.
I'm so down for a hell sword. I don't think that I don't think they're the type of game to be like, yeah, you can only use it in one level, and if you have a charge bar, they're just gonna fucking give it to you. hopefully.
I think it'll work a lot like the chainsaw worked in the original game.
Like there's fuel.
Probably be like energy, like
runes.
Argent energy. Like you have to charge it, which doesn't make any sense because I mean, like, I don't remember anywhere in the lore of Doom. That's a weird thing to say.
No, it's not. Because there's a lot.
There's story
of
in that
lore.
game. Well, like in the lore of Doom, when they're talking about Doomslayer, when he's going on that rampage, I want to make this clear. Doomslayer, rather, was butt naked, fighting
Demons in hell, barehanded.
butt naked
For like a million years, I'm stupid,
for
right?
eternity.
It's so
he
fucking
went through
wild.
an eternity.
It is wicked.
They couldn't kill him
They couldn't.
because they had to drop a tomb on him, and just seal him.
Just wait.
Yeah, just like dude, and then they marked it. We're just like, dude, just don't go over
Nobody
here.
look at him. Just nobody look at it.
It's literally Chernobyl for hell.
For
you know,
hell.
like and I love that.
It's so wicked.
And then he got his sword, right? And then he kills that big ass demon. I don't know.
Yeah,
how the
I don't
fuck.
I don't. I think it's like the last few episodes you go into hell. There's this big carcass, and you find like a data log, and it talks about how you killed him. Like how the
Mhm.
fuck?
Yeah,
That thing's like 3,000 feet tall.
yeah, and like he was using a sword, no doubt. Like he didn't have his
No,
super
I
shotgun.
I imagine that he punched that dragon to death or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I actually prefer I like where your head's at.
What? That he beat him to death?
Yeah, with his
bare
hands and his dick.
Just 'Cause you know that shit is massive.
Yeah.
You'd think that Doom guy isn't swanging.
Yeah, you're insane. You've lost it.
You're
You've lost your mind.
You've lost your mind.
But he has no use for it except for beating demons to death. You know, I don't think he fucks anything.
That's
with
why it's gone so big, because it's evolved
Yeah,
to
it's
use for
muscular. It
beating.
has a
it's
six-pack.
a blunt object. Its vein is okay. We're getting too bad.
No,
Too
it's
gross.
okay. It's
No,
okay.
it's not.
No, it's great.
No,
Its vein is bigger than my
no,
head.
but like it's constantly pumping. Like it's just it looks like a heart. Oh god.
Oh my god.
Apex Legends.
Apex Legends. So I haven't looked into this game
I
at all.
played it.
What do you think?
I like it a lot. I think
Do
out
you?
of the battle royale squad based loot shooter games, it's probably one of the best.
Okay. My biggest issue with it, and I've actually been listening. My only connection with it is on this podcast called Sacred Symbols. I quote this guy a lot, Colin Moriarty. I quote him quite a bit. He's the only podcaster I listen to consistently, but great creator, great mind in the industry. But he released his most recent episode, and they talked about it. And from what I understand, is that it's more boots on the ground. Like I don't like you're
Sorry.
doing that. He's crossing his eyes
I
again.
apologize.
It's more boots on the ground style, like all other battle royale games, which frustrates me because
Of what Titanfall is.
Titanfall has such a unique
Movement.
movement technology, like for lack of a better word.
Yep. We talked about this before the podcast, and I just want to say it again because they didn't hear it.
No, of course.
So what I don't like it either, but I kind of get it from
Mhm.
a lore standpoint. Whenever we say lore, we sound like a bunch of fuckheads.
Yeah. Well, it'd be like that.
Yeah, because in Titanfall, you're a pilot who
Mhm.
is like a very specialized type of guy trained to drive these giant mechs.
Yeah.
And they have little like booster jets on
their
like,
butt.
on their
Well,
hip. And,
it's on the
and
small
their
of their back.
Yeah, and in their feet. But the guys we play as in Apex Legends are like mercs or like criminals, or so I don't get why they would.
Yeah. Well, you kind of get an idea of what a common foot soldier would fight like, because in the beginning of Titanfall 2, like Jack is just
You
a
are one.
rifleman.
Mhm.
You know, that's like his title.
Then you get murdered by drones or whatever.
Well, you get your whole fucking crew
Gets
gets
cut
fucked
down.
up. Yeah, and then he becomes a pilot. Because I mean, he was training to become a pilot,
But he wasn't there yet.
But he wasn't there yet. So like you get a little segment of gameplay where you're just on the ground and just fighting like like it's just a regular shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Which I just credits to the Titanfall creators. God damn, they know how to make a shooter feel good.
That's a great game.
You know? Oh, it's so good. So fun to just if your shooting feels good and it's just literally point shoot, like you've succeeded.
I love the thing about Titanfall 2. There were bosses in that.
Yeah.
And most shooters don't have like legit bosses.
Yeah.
You're like crazy people who like they paint their Titan to look funny and they had like a weird hairstyle or they
Mhm.
had like a gimmick, and I love that.
Yeah, and then when you killed them, you got their
fucking Titan
class.
or
yeah.
like their loadout. I
Yeah,
guess.
their loadout,
Mhm.
and you got to use it like the.
I don't know about you, but I main Scorch on online.
Scorch?
I love Scorch, bro. I love Scorch.
I like God, what is he? Trying to think. What is he? He's the one with the semi-auto, the dunk dunk, and you like if you get 3 shots on somebody, you lock onto him and you can shoot some
Does
missiles.
he have
at
a
him.
laser?
It's not a laser. It's a.
So it's not
It's a missile.
Ion, because Ion was the one with the laser.
Ion. He's a good one, but no, that's not the one I'm talking about.
There's
It's the second one you get.
okay. I'm just gonna run through the ones that I know.
Okay.
Scorch, Ronin, Ion. There's a sniper. What's the sniper called?
I know it's not that
God
one.
damn it!
It's the one where you
yeah,
charge
it's the
it
one,
up.
It's the one that I'm forgetting about. Yeah.
It's not that one though.
Mhm. Damn.
What is it? I gotta look it up.
Yeah,
I'm
please
sorry.
do.
I'm
Please
sorry.
do.
It's driving me
No, you're
crazy.
fine. I need to know. But yeah, that game's release was weird because they announced it the same day that they released it, and there was nothing about it beforehand. Like nobody knew.
Yeah, it was very strange because
Mhm.
hold on, I found the loadouts. I'm sorry. North Star was one you were trying to think of, the
Yep.
sniper.
Mhm.
Uh
You got it.
no.
You got it.
We're getting there.
You got it.
Why can't it just give me the fucking names? Like
Just Google Titanfall 2 mech names or
Tone,
Titan name.
Tone.
I fucking love Tone.
Tone is the
I
best.
love Tone.
Tone fucking rules.
I scorched main. I main Scorch when I did, and I was probably Tone more times than not.
Well, Tone you can cheese because you can like you get your G because I play it on PC. You
Yep.
press G and it like puts one of the like
Lock-ons?
one of the 1/3 of the lock on for you,
Mm-hmm.
and then you hit it twice, and then you just salvo, and you just keep doing that.
Burst like around a corner, and the missile will track him.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and then you can just hang back and just because it's a semi-auto gun that the Titan carries, and you can
Massive.
just dung dung dung. You
I
know?
like Scorch because you could like cut off places of the map. I love that shit. He had his little gas canister to light that shit on fire, and they couldn't go down that
Oh,
that
yeah.
entire row.
Yeah, I do
He's
remember
cool.
that.
And then he had that smash.
Uh-huh.
What a great Titan.
Yeah, he's a
He's
cool
big
one.
boy.
I liked the Ion dude because I loved the charge ability where it's just an
The
Iron Man.
The Iron Man chest
Yeah, just-
beam. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so unnecessary. But
It
I
is
love
unnecessary, but I love it.
Yeah, I also like the.
Ronan.
I was
The
never
sword
good
boy?
at Ronin.
Me neither.
I couldn't- I
always
was
got
never good.
murdered.
Yeah, I fully like I know people are good at it, but like
Yeah.
no, I was just not.
never good at it.
Um,
I didn't have enough passion.
person. I remember I did the very last one you get with the minigun.
Oh fuck,
Dude,
Legion.
yeah, Legion, fucking insane.
Dude, I never liked playing him.
well,
It's just like a playstyle that I don't enjoy.
I never played him online,
Mhm.
but in the campaign,
Oh, he's fucking
he's
devastating.
He's insane. It's crazy, and I actually recently replayed the campaign. God,
Really?
it's so fucking good. I played it. I mean, not recently. It was before the semester.
Okay.
Or before the last. God, it was the summer. It must have been. Okay, it's been like almost-
fuck.
it's been
almost a year.
yeah, whatever. But yeah, I remember playing. God, it's so good. And then the very last level where you get the smart pistol, you're just
Oh god.
fucking. That is when the game felt like a rhythm game. Like it just felt like it felt like Mario when you get good at it and you're just trying to like just finesse the whole level without stopping.
Yep.
And because Mario, you can like Mario is structured in such a way where you get good enough at it, dude. It's like
blaze through it.
it's like music.
Yep.
It's like doot, 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 like you're just going across the level.
I just want to say that smart pistol is the dumbest thing in any video game ever. But I fucking
it's cheap
love
as
it.
fuck, but
it's
I love
so
using
funny.
it. Yeah, it's just like beep, headshot, instant headshot.
7 people dead.
Yeah. Well, it was worse in the first. Sorry, excuse me. It was worse in the first game because
You could bring it.
it was just a
online.
weapon. Yeah.
Yeah.
What in the Titanfall 2,
It
it's
was like
a power up,
burn card. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and that definitely makes more sense. But
I never used it because I'm not a bitch.
biatch.
Anyway.
The thing also I liked about Titanfall was the fact that all the guns were viable. It's just whichever one you felt most comfortable using.
Yeah.
Because I remember I would use I just kept switching weapons. I just couldn't find one, and then eventually I was like, okay, this is what I'm using, period. And I just started using it, and I was just racking up kills, man. Like it was fucking insane.
Yeah.
I've never been good at multiplayer shooters, like multiplayer anything. I'm pretty good at Titanfall 2.
Yep.
I'm probably not anymore, but like I was, you know. And like it was always cool. Like I always used the grappling hook because
I love that shit.
like
It's so useful. Why would you use anything else?
well you can like slingshot yourself.
Mhm.
Like you'd be running and you'd like
aim to something on like your left. You would like slide and jump, and it would pull you all the way around.
Yeah, you were like a tether ball.
That was so cool.
And
What a sport.
what a sport. I'm actually not sure how exactly it worked, but like if you shot the cable at a certain angle, it would like launch you farther.
Mhm.
You know, like there was like a little bit of like nuance to how you could like work the cable.
Mhm. How you could work the cable.
Work the cable. We're just killing it with these episode names today. Work the cable.
Oh god.
Tight, not tone.
I like work the cable.
Work the cable.
Passion.
That was another one.
That was a good one. I'm not gonna name this passion.
Yeah, don't do that. We'll probably get attacked.
Demonetized.
I don't think anybody.
Even though we're not monetized.
we're not monetized whatsoever.
the furthest thing from monetized.
This is literally just for fun.
It
But yeah. So we're supposed to talk about Apex, not Titanfall 2.
God damn it.
Okay, but so what do you like about Apex?
I like it has like an Overwatch style like hero system.
Okay.
It's not like you just drop down like a random dude with like a fancy skin
Mhm.
and that's it. It's teams of 3, but it's forced. It's not like you have solo, duo, squad. It's always 3, which I kind of
Okay.
like.
Yeah.
And in most games like this, when you jump out of the plane, you can each jump at individual times. And that's when there's a jump master, and when he jumps, everybody jumps and they follow him.
Okay.
So if you're jump master and we're playing, when you jump, I have no control.
okay. Does
at
Jump
all.
Master switch every round or something?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And
It depends on who picks, because you guys pick your hero before the round, and if I pick last, I'm the jump master, right?
okay.
So I think it's really cool. I like the developers talked about why there are no Titans in the game. Well, it would be overbalanced as fuck.
And they're not pilots.
They're not pilots. Yeah, exactly. Like,
So it makes sense. I mean, it's kind of a
criminal
lame
wa-
reason, but it
but
is a reason.
it is a reason. At least not like, oh,
Yeah.
we just didn't want him in. Like, it makes sense.
I'm disappointed for a couple reasons.
That it's not Titanfall 3?
Yes.
Yep.
I want Titanfall 3. I don't give a
feel
fuck.
like they're still going to do it. Of
I
course
hope
they're
they
gonna
do.
it.
Because they released Titanfall 2 at a horrible time. They released it between Call of Duty and Battlefield 1.
Bad idea.
Between them. Are you fucking kidding me? The two biggest, like,
Shooter
best-selling
genres. Yeah,
shooters. You're going to stick this little niche. Because the first game didn't sell very well either.
No, but it was good.
Yeah, because it was an Xbox exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
And then they brought it to all the consoles and were like, okay, we're going to give a campaign. We heard you guys. And thank God
that's
they
right.
did.
Titanfall was just online. Man, fuck that.
Yeah, and then and everyone was like, this is cool, but like, I really wish there was a campaign. You know, I wish things were better. And then they came back
No,
with
there was a campaign, but it was like interspliced between online games.
and it was just online, and it was just like little cutscenes would play at the top corner.
Yeah, and if you didn't get it in order, like if you didn't play the right match, you were just fucked. You're like, I have no idea what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, it was effectively no campaign.
Yeah.
And it was just garbage. And then they came back with a fucking force, man, and just blew us all away with this campaign. And I'm not even like overhyping it. Like, it is that good. Like, what are you doing?
I don't know. I'm just trying to see if it would work. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I think it's working for you. I don't like what you're doing there.
You can't see my head anymore. You.
Oh my god.
What's the guy's name from Akira with the big old head?
Tetsuo! Canada!
Oh god, I fucking.
We
Oh
need to
my-
talk about that too. I bet Rich is gonna
What a
like that.
movie, man.
We'll get to that after Apex. You got any-
Okay.
So I'm not gonna play Apex because I have no interest.
It's free, dog. You might as well just try it.
I don't have online.
That's fair.
I don't give a fuck
That's
about
fair,
it.
that's
I'm
fair.
playing Resident Evil 2 still and Mario, so fuck everything else.
Yeah.
Frankly, I'm gonna go home and try to figure out how to download an emulator for Super Mario
Nice.
64 because I haven't played that game since I was a kid,
I haven't played
and
that
I never
since
beat it.
1964, I think. That's so weird.
That's when the game came out. It came out like
Oh, you're right. It's not because it was on the Nintendo 64. I'm a fucking idiot.
no, but like I've been playing Super Mario Bros. 3 on my DS,
Nice.
3DS, and yeah, what a game! God, so good. Mario, I can't name me a bad Mario game. I really can't. There's not a bad one.
I'm gonna cut that.
There's some that are better,
Mm-hmm.
but there's not one that's like just bad.
Terrible.
Yeah, maybe. Shit, I don't know.
Sonic is a different story.
Yeah, well, I don't like Sonic, but
It's
that's
dog
just
shit.
me. Yeah, I'm not a big Sonic guy. But Mario, dude.
Gotta go
fucking
fast.
suck. Yeah, just hold right on the stick. No, that's not fun.
Hold right, jump, win, spiky crab. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's awful. That's what it is.
I don't like they had like 3D games of Sonic. Like he was like kind of like free roam. It was like adventure. I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
like
I
this.
do remember though. There was this game called Sonic Heroes. Did you ever play that game?
I like the shit out of that game.
Where they had
like
3.
teams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was like
You had Sonic's team, Shadow's team.
Yep.
A weird mercenary team with like a crocodile, a rhino, and
Mhm.
what was that? I fucking
a
forgot.
bumblebee.
It was a bumblebee, and then you
Yep.
had the weird like nice team
I get. Well, it was the girl team, wasn't it?
and the fisherman walrus thing. He was purple. I forget his name.
I don't. Remember. I always played Sonic's team.
I played
obviously.
Shadows. He had the
Really?
robot in it. I love
did have the
robots, man.
robot.
What was his name? Omega? Dude, fuck me. He was so cool.
Well, they had the. I remember that game was. It was very strange because they'd like ask you to like land these like pin landings on these rails.
Yeah.
It would constantly move the camera and like these established to like give these like cool
So you
cinematic
fucking
views.
miss it.
Yeah, and you're just like, fuck. I just wish I could see. You
I wish
know.
I knew what was happening.
Yeah, and God, I remember that game. That game was insane.
That's a good one.
I wonder if
There's
it was good
another
though.
Sonic. I think
It's been a while, so I don't
objectively,
remember.
Probably not. There's another Sonic game, Sonic Adventure, I think.
Yep.
It was like a story-driven Sonic game. There's this water monster or something. I have no idea. I totally forget. I think it was that.
There was I think it was called Sonic Advance for the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
Which was another cool one, I guess.
Sonic's
I don't like Sonic, but I mean, like, I did grow
It's
up with it.
Weird.
I grew up with it.
If I don't remember, but I think the story is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it's something about Chaos Emerald.
Like there's a Silver Sonic who's from the future, and
Yeah.
Sonic has a girlfriend that's human or something.
Well,
I'm not
she's
fully
like
aware.
she's like humanoid.
She's like a princess or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's all
she's got
fuck-
like a
it's-
red dress or something.
It's all wrong.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No,
And like Knuckles is supposed to be defending the Chaos Emerald, or was that Shadow?
that was
Knuckles. He's supposed to be defending the
and
Chaos
he
Emerald,
fucks it.
and he fucks it up because of course he does.
Shadow's an experiment or something by Dr. Robotnik.
But he's not fast, is he? Or is he?
He is fast. I don't think he's fast
he's-
as Sonic.
Okay.
He's more. There is a
Sonic movie?
Shadow game
Yes, I know what you're talking
where
about.
he's just gunning down
He has
demons in
guns.
the street. I'm like, what the fuck? I think it's M-rated too. And he's
it's
just
at least rated T.
shooting down demons. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
And he says shit. He
does
says
say
shit. When he gets hurt, he's like, shit.
shit. I think Sonic, because they
So
have like,
edgy.
I think other characters show up as like a cameo.
Mm.
And when Sonic shows up, I think Shadow just talks shit to him for like 5 minutes, and then Sonic leaves.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so good.
Well, it's I remember the biggest thing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
You're
about
fine,
to do this to you.
What's up?
You know the thing I remember most about Sonic, most specifically Shadow,
What's that?
his girlfriend, Maria.
Yes, he wouldn't shut up about her. Is
Maria.
she dead?
I don't know.
He's like fucking Frank Castle.
I don't give a shit.
What's his wife's name? It better
Uh,
not be
I
Maria.
don't- I think
hold,
it is.
hold on.
Is it? I think it is.
God damn it! Make up Frank Castle's dead family. That's what I'm gonna put into Google.
That's season 2 of Daredevil, when he's got the shotgun against that Irish gangster. He's like, "Where's my family? What happened to my family?"
It is Maria. So you tell me Shadow is the
Frank Castle
of the Sonic verse?
I guess he is.
That's so dumb.
Dead wives are all named Maria.
You're, it's just
I
a
hate to
curse.
say it.
Don't name
I-
your daughter Maria if you don't want her to die.
I hate to be like that, but it really do be like
I really
that.
do be like
It
that.
just it is what it is, you know.
But yeah, that Sonic movie they're making. Why?
It's not even the fact that he looks like muscular; it's that his sneakers look like sneakers. I hate that.
They're not supposed to.
They,
They
no,
look like
no,
he
no, no.
Put like Converse on his feet. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, they're like big, cartoony. Like his legs are like straws, and they're like stuck in these big ass shoes.
Also, Jim Carrey is Dr. Robotnik, which I don't agree with.
See, I thought it was animated, but now I realize it's CGI
It's live action,
mixed with live action,
which is gross.
I just don't get it. I don't get it. Who's voicing Sonic?
I have no idea. I think Chris Pine is in it. No, Chris Pratt is in it.
He better not be.
He's not voicing. I think he's like a cop friend of Sonic or something. Which, first of all, Sonic doesn't mess with the pigs.
No, he doesn't. He's a hedgehog.
He's a hedgehog. They don't do that shit. It's so weird. I don't know why it exists.
Let's see who the voice of this guy is.
I don't think it's even
Jim
up, is it?
Carrey's Dr. Eggman.
Oh, it's Eggman. Isn't that
Ben
Robotnik?
No, Dr. Eggman.
Is it okay? Is his first name Eggman? His last name is
I don't know. It just
Robotnik?
says Dr. Eggman,
That's weird.
and they describe him as juvenile delinquent.
He's
Sonic
not.
the Hedgehog.
He's not.
As if he's what is he anyway?
He's I don't know, but he's not. He doesn't act like a reckless kid. He's just a dude doing
He's
his
just
thing.
a douchebag, you know. Like I gotta go faster. Fuck you, Sonic.
Hey Shadow, you wish you could beat me, huh, pussy?
It actually doesn't bother me that much. I don't really care. I'm not.
I have
I have a
gonna
pretty
watch
good
it.
self-esteem. Okay.
You're right. Oh, are you Shadow in this scenario?
I guess I don't know. James Marsden's in it, which really makes me upset.
That's weird.
Why you gotta do this, Jim?
What you
Jim.
gotta do to James?
Jim.
Is it Jim Marsden?
Well, it's James Marsden.
So you
James
call
is short for Jim. You know I don't call anybody by their name.
You're right.
I don't.
That's so weird that you don't. Kind of it doesn't upset me, but it upsets me.
So just
Oh, okay.
talk about something.
Oh God,
Pressure's on.
this is my time to get more to Transformers.
Yeah.
Now that the mic is hot. No, so you know that I've been reading Transformers comics as of late, and one thing that makes me hate the Bayformers movies more is realizing that characters that he's brought in are so much better than they could have been. More specifically, there's this character called Drift, who in the movies is a Japanese
Why do we always end up back to
stereotype. You
Transformers?
shut your damn mouth. That's the point. I had the mic. Drift in the movies is this Japanese stereotype. He's played by Ken Watanabe, which what a waste.
Yes.
He's I don't know why he has like a samurai helmet as his head,
What?
and he has swords.
Doesn't
Makes
make any
no
sense.
fucking.
Is he
You're
a
a
car?
robot. Yeah, he's a car.
How?
I don't get it.
How's he fit his big ass head in there?
No, but in the comics,
his helmet
Drift is
off.
so interesting. Drift is a Decepticon who turned into an Autobot because he realized his shit was wrong.
Oh, okay.
So Drift was, before the war, he was a poor boy.
From
was
a
a-
poor
he was a poor-
family.
Fuck. And he's living on the streets.
You
and
got
he's-
ooped.
I got
that
I
alley?
got ooped, you whooped. And yeah, Drift is living on the street as most of the people of this society are because it's fucked up. It's a rough society. And so he joined a gang just to live, just to help steal food or whatever to get by, right? And they run into the cops hurting this other poor guy, and they try to stop him. The cops gun down his friend, and something in him snaps, and he murders all those cops, like right there, like in the street.
Yeah.
And then he joins the Decepticons because he's a murderer.
Yes.
And he goes by. He becomes this like notorious guy. I think he goes by Deadlock at this time zone.
Nomad.
Nomad. He goes by Deadlock.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Ronan.
You are
from
thinking of Ronan
Avengers.
from Avengers? Hawkeye? Yeah. So
My boy.
he tries to overthrow his Decepticon commander at the time. It's not someone like important. And he goes to this planet, meets up with a group of Transformers who during the war left. Like scholars, almost smart people, just up and left. And they made a new Cybertronian society on a different planet, free of war, crime. It's just perfect, right? And they're like, why the fuck is this Decepticon here?
Wait, did they get better at building buildings?
Yes, they're doing great. They're doing
Great.
fantastic.
All right, no,
They're underground.
That's
They're underground.
okay.
So
all
they,
right.
they like terraform this whole planet. So where it's like a desert planet, but it opens up. There's like a whole city just underneath the entire ground, right?
Okay.
And this,
I'd be a construction bot.
you would be a Constructicon?
Yeah, I'm just like a cone.
You're oh, so you're not like a bulldozer. You're
Look,
just a traffic
I'm very,
cone.
I'm very important.
You are very
okay?
important
I'm a
to the-
construction cone. I make sure nobody fools with the construction.
Is Kyle late to work? We need to know where not to be.
Oh.
God. So Drift shows up to this Autobot. I hate you. They're not Autobots. They're like neutral. They don't
Yeah.
have a side. They just know war is bad. And while he's training with this guy who lives there, Drift. Fuck, I'm messing this up completely. It's a great story. I promise you.
All right.
The guy.
I'm sure nobody knows enough to correct you.
That is fair. The guy who's training him is like, okay, it's so good. He points to his Decepticon sticker. It's not a sticker. He's like, what does that mean? What does it stand for? And he's like, strength. Hold on, I have it pulled up. He's like, it stands for strength. So he's like, okay,
Big dick energy.
yeah. He's
basically.
like, oh, so that means you're the strongest one, right? He's like, duh. He's like, all right, show me. No guns, no swords. Show me. And he just whips Drift's ass.
Who does?
The guy who's training him. I don't think his name is ever said.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, prove it. No guns, no swords. Fight me. And he just wipes
So
the
is
floor with him.
is Drift like a arrogant asshole, or is he just like legitimately trying to like see, like, you know what I mean? Is it like a? I'm trying to think of a good metaphor for this. Is he like this arrogant asshole that has to learn by trial, or is he just like trying to figure out who this guy is?
I think it's more of he knows why he joined, but I feel like other people see him and judge him like immediately based on what his symbol is.
Mm-hmm. And what's his
'Cause-
symbol? The Decepticon
Yes.
logo. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So after that,
Cool logo.
it is pretty cool.
I prefer the Autobot logo personally.
I
though.
prefer the Decepticon logo.
Really?
I just think the shape is cool.
I like how the Autobot logo looks like a toy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it has the mouth and the eyes and stuff. I don't know. The Decepticon one is cool though with the angles.
There is
More
one
angular.
one Decepticon named Tarn,
Mm-hmm.
and his face looks like the symbol
Oh, okay.
because he's crazy and he made it that way. It's pretty sick.
That's
So
cool.
so after that, like
religious,
weeks,
like cult fanatics.
yeah, he's part of the Decepticon Justice Division, which sounds like a cult. It
Yeah, it
sounds
really
like
does.
a cult.
Sounds like the Department of Peace.
Yeah, or like the Department of Truth from
Yeah, yeah.
1984.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure if it's called that because
It's definitely not.
like they have different ministries in that. God, we're gonna go on.
I didn't read it.
1984. Well, they have different. Winston works in the Ministry of Truth.
Yeah, okay.
So he like
That's where he like changes the news stories, right?
Yes, yeah. So like if something happens and then the dictator or whoever the fuck is in charge in this,
Hitler's
there's
head in
no,
a bottle.
I don't think it's ever made clear who's in charge.
No, or if it's
Ever.
one person or like a
Yeah, I don't think it's ever made clear.
committee.
Like O'Brien is like the main antagonist. Spoiler.
Damn it.
O'Brien is like the main antagonist, I suppose,
Mhm.
but like he's really just an enforcer. It feels like he's just sort of like a brainwasher, for lack of a better word. He's like the muscle. So I mean, he's kind of like he's the only face you ever get for what the government's like in
Yep.
in 1984, which is just that's a great literary trick because like if you just show a piece of the big bad, you just show a piece.
Mhm.
You don't show the big bad itself. Dude, it's fucking horrifying because you're like, if you're this bad, I can't even fucking imagine like,
what higher up is. Yeah.
But anyway, Transformers. Keep going. I'm
So
sorry.
no, you're fine. After this guy, I don't remember his name if it's even given. The guy who's training Drift. After he whips his ass, we time jump.
Draft.
Yeah, Draft and Drift. So that's what I'm gonna use.
Okay.
So we go to like a few weeks after, and they're still fighting because Drift's still. Draft is like the day that you can beat me is the day that you're allowed to leave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Drift is fighting Draft, and he's like, "Come on, man, where's all this Decepticon power? You know, if if you want to conquer the galaxy, you need to try harder than that."
Whoa. Where does Draft come from?
He lives in this city below this planet that's all scholars and smart people who left and established their own.
And
community.
he's just like this monk who can like beat everybody's ass.
He's pretty good. Their society doesn't use guns. They're all sword based.
Okay. And he's a Decepticon?
He's no
affiliation?
they don't have they don't have.
No affiliate.
Mhm.
Okay.
So if you want to conquer the galaxy, you have to try harder than that. And you hear
So he's totally like he's totally
neutral.
neutral
He
about
has
it. Like,
no opinion.
okay.
He just knows that war is bad and they don't want to take sides.
Gotcha.
And then Drift, you see him like whisper, "That's not why I joined." He's like, "What?" He said, "That's not why I fucking joined, okay? I didn't join to kill people. I joined because I was alone, discarded on the street, and someone came to me and they helped me out." It's as simple as that.
Mhm.
They just happened to be on the wrong side. Because for a lot of these people, the Decepticons are just a place to go to give them like a home, something to like believe in.
It's
and
why
strive
anybody
for.
joins any
Exactly.
crazy group.
Mhm.
Yeah, usually.
So, long story short, Drift is just this great character who has this great arc because there's this whole mini-series about Drift in this, and now he's one of the Autobots' most trusted guys because he killed a lot of people.
So did Draft stop beating his ass after that? He was just like, wipe yourself off, young
I
man.
see. I feel like Draft is about his. Oh, Draft dies.
Of course he does. He's
Spoiler
the
alert.
master.
He's a master. Draft gets murdered because the planet that they're on and hiding on the surface are these like reptilian but also technological-based race. They're like smugglers.
Yeah.
And they're pretty strong, and they murder him. And in the process, this race of underground transform decide, we're still going to be neutral, but we're going to make ourselves known.
Okay.
So they rise from the bottom of this planet, and they're on the surface now, and they're fighting back against these drug smugglers. And Drift goes off to join the Autobots. And yeah, there's a bit of tension because he's the Decepticon who killed a lot of their friends.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's just I read this, I'm like, Drift in the movies is just
Shit.
a samurai knockoff who talks like a fucking moron.
Yeah.
God. And in this one, he has two small swords on his side and one big sword. And when he uses that sword, it's powered by his heart.
Okay.
So if he uses it too much, he can kill himself.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool.
That's like in Bloodborne. There's a sword.
Does it use your blood?
Yes,
Holy shit.
it does.
So takes health away when you're using it?
Yes.
Holy fuck.
It's like it's slowly ticking away. But Bloodborne is such that if you lose health, if you hit if you damage something quick enough,
It'll gain back?
Yeah.
That's only if he hits you, right? It's just if you lose
I don't
health
remember. It's been a while.
In general. That's fair.
It's been a while. I think it's negligible how much health you, because like eventually you have so much health, it's like it doesn't even matter. But where it becomes tricky is if you're fighting a boss and you have the blood thing set up and you get just slapped and like all your health goes away.
Yeah. So
And-
you can't swing or you're gonna die.
Well, it ticks even if you don't swing. If you're just holding it.
Oh fuck.
So like if you get slapped and you have a hair's worth of health left,
Mm-hmm.
and you die, that you're holding the sword with the blood on it, and you just you lose the rest of your health.
Yep.
That's where it becomes tricky. But usually you can like swipe the blood off, and it's actually a move in the game
That's pretty cool.
where you like do, I think it's RR, and then you click the left bumper, and he like does that, and he just sends the blood off the sword. And
That's
it
pretty
just
cool.
Strikes people. Yeah,
That's
pretty
cool.
cool. I like it.
There's this great scene where after Draft was just murdered,
Mhm.
the king of this smuggler people is like, because Drift is pretty hurt himself. He's like, "What? You can hardly stand. What can you possibly hope to do, Decepticon?" And Drift pulls that fucking heart-powered sword, and he goes, "I'm not a fucking Decepticon." And he cuts him in half.
Oh my god.
It's so metal.
Literally
metal.
because they're made of metal.
They're made of metal.
Metal.
They are made of metal.
They're made of heavy elements.
Heavy elements, especially metal.
Metal. Oh, you're metal.
The funny thing is that when Drift means draft for the first, I believe his name is Draft. For the first time, he's in robes.
Yeah. Oh, that's strange.
So he's like a robot, but he's still in full robe. He's still like 20 feet tall in robes.
You just see these gross angles, just like poking through the robes.
Like, what the? Are you okay?
No, I want to die.
I want to die. Oh my god. This is a character called Cup. I'm just gonna go on. I'm just one more story.
Gross. His
His
name's
name-
Cup.
K-U-P.
I like that. Cup.
He's
Koopa Cup.
He's an old timer. I mean, old Transformers like 1,000,000 years old. The thing about him is he refused to get any upgrades.
Okay.
He did. Like,
So he's like a tin can.
basically. And he gets lost on this planet full of these crystals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And him and one crewmate, and these crystals, they give off some transmission that fucks with their head. So he's there for like a couple years, and he thinks he's lost, and the Autobots are sending like scout parties to bring him back, right?
Yeah.
His mind is so fucked up, he thinks there are creatures coming to kill him.
Okay.
So he, not knowing, has killed like maybe 50 of his own men, thinking there's someone else.
Okay.
So when they do finally get him, like, hey, we can't tell him. We cannot tell him that he murdered 50 of his own men. He'll lose his fucking shit.
Okay.
So the
they lie.
whole time,
I'm sure he finds out.
he does find like right before he sacrifices himself. But this whole time, everyone's talking, and they have to make sure they don't let something out because he's so old, his psyche will crack.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing, being a soldier of like his caliber, knowing that he killed 50 men that he was in a way responsible for.
Yeah.
And there's some really deep shit. It's not that deep. It's a Transformers story. My point is
deep. It
for,
is deep.
Like for like a series that's considered like kid shit and just dumb explosion fodder, to have shit like that means something.
Well, yeah, it's like it's all about. I think the view of that comes a lot from one, the Bay films, obviously, and I think that had a lot to do with it, and two, just how, I mean, back in the day, you know, when they were making these cartoon shows, they were making them to sell toys.
Yeah.
Really. And but then some creative minds actually went in there and were like, no, there's something here, and you know, they actually built something. It's just about having somebody who gives a shit about it, making it.
I'm so glad people
Give
a shit. It's
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
when they do, it's so fucking good.
Yeah. I'm not a big Transformers guy. Like, I mean, I don't like seek it out
Yeah.
at all. But like the more you tell me about it, I'm like, that's okay. I'm down with it.
It's interesting.
It's cool.
It's
I like it. I like you even better.
That's passion.
That passion.
That's passion. Okay, that's all me from my Transformer talk for this week. I'll stop.
Trying to think of what else we could get into.
What's our time at, Papa?
1 hour and 13 minutes.
Passion.
We can cut it about
1:30 maybe, 1:25.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. What have we talked about today? Apex Legends, SpongeBob, Super Bowl, Transformers.
Yeah.
What next on Egg in a Bottle? Stay tuned to find out.
I don't know. Have you played Red Dead yet?
Nope.
No, we can't talk about that.
I'm out of money.
Oh, well, I understand.
Yep.
I bought Resident Evil 2, and
I've heard that's great. Did we
You'll-
talk about
you-
this last week? I think we
I
did.
think we did a little bit.
When Leon is trying to help the dude.
Yeah, hang in there.
We did talk about this.
Stupid.
Holy shit.
You would love it though. It's got
Yeah.
that wackiness that you really
That
love,
schlockiness.
and the gameplay's fire.
Heard
Like,
it's
the
great.
gameplay is so good, and the game is beautiful. It's gorgeous.
I'm so hungry.
I
Sorry.
am too. I haven't eaten.
My
I thought you
Subway is
ate.
in my bag. No, I only had time to get chips and drink my drink. We're just sitting on the thing outside. 'Cause I'm
Where's my
respectable.
drink?
You forgot my Diet Dr. Kelp.
I'm gonna. Oh no.
Sorry.
I'm probably gonna go get Arby's on the way home.
Noise. What have you been watching recently?
Mad Men.
Really?
Yeah, have you watched it?
No. Is it any good?
Dude.
Dude.
That show. I don't like to throw this. I don't like to throw this around I don't like to throw my weight around like this. There is not a problem with that show.
Not one.
Not one. I don't have one issue with it.
How much passion do you think was put into that show?
So much.
So much passion.
I've related this story many times to many different people. That Game of Thrones was kind of like where I began in this like golden age of television that we're in right now. I don't know. I hope these episodes survive well into like the 3000s and they're like listening. So if you want to know the golden age of television, it kind of started with The Wire and The Sopranos. Like that's kind of where the pioneers of it, and then it gave way to shows like Rome, and then shows like Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad and Mad Men. They kind of exhibit this like golden age of television that we're in at the moment. But Game of Thrones was the first one I really got into. I was like, holy shit, this is a viable medium. And but everything I've watched since then has been better. Like pretty much almost everything. I'm not gonna say everything, but like almost everything I've checked out since then, I've preferred. Like The Night Of is a miniseries on HBO. I think that show is one creative decision away from being perfect.
Yep.
Literally one decision. Like if they made one different decision creatively, like in the story, it would have been a perfect show. I mean, I would tell you what it is, but anyway, they tell you who the killer is basically, and and I hate that. I hate it. Went against everything that they were setting up, which is the injustice of the justice system.
Speaking of things, I saw Glass the other day. Fuck me. Sorry. Go.
Who'd you see it with?
Myself.
Oh, you went by
no,
yourself?
me and friend of the pod, Richard, saw it actually.
Oh, did you guys like it?
We were very upset.
Oh, I see.
We were very upset at the end.
But yeah, so Mad Men, I'm on that. That's like my main dig right now. Like I'm watching like 2 episodes a day, basically. Like one when I eat.
Nice.
Like, it's basically when I do it. Right before I beat my meat. Oh,
there's a whole lot of passion.
Tenderize.
Passion.
I gotta go home and tenderize, guys. I'm sorry. Gee Willikers.
I'm sorry. Gee Willikers, my meat's ready to be beat.
I just got done washing my hands.
No other reason. Sorry.
I love how we never find out why.
Reference that like 3 times
because it's one of the best lines in the movie. I just got done washing my hands. No other reason.
No other reason.
John Mulaney, he's a funny guy.
He's a great guy.
But yeah, Mad Men. It's the best show I've watched so far.
Really?
Like bar none. Like I've not watched a better show personally. And I know like some people think Breaking Bad is that, and I can respect that. You know, Breaking Bad is really great. Like really really great. I think Better Call Saul is better.
I need to watch it.
It's.
I like Saul as a character.
He's so
great.
interesting. He's so weird. You know, like
weird.
because like with Walt. Like Walt starts out as this like dorky dude, and he like slowly like gives into his alter ego more and more.
What's the line? There is no danger, Skylar. I am the danger. God, I
am the one who knocks.
I am the one who knocks. He sounds insane. I love Bryan Cranston so much. Everything he fucking does.
He kills it. He destroys it. Like, and another thing that another interesting facet of the golden age of television we're in, every actor I feel like just is just dying to get their opportunity to play Walter White, their opportunity to play Don Draper, their opportunity to play Tyrion Lannister, and Tony Soprano. Like just it. The only equivalent I can think of is, let's see, this isn't even right because like it feels like everybody can be a Marvel at this point. But it feels like anybody who's anybody has a part in Marvel.
This is very this is fact.
But there's so much that it's like, well, yeah, you can play, I don't know, Killmonger, whoever,
Anybody,
somebody nobody's really heard of up until now,
like anybody can play Horse Thor if you really want to.
If you really think about it,
you can definitely be Horse Thor.
If you think about it as much as I do,
and I do,
and I think about Horse Thor,
you can definitely be Horse Thor.
Yeah. But yeah, like everybody was like, if you get the opportunity to play a character like Don Draper, like Tony Soprano, like Walter White, like Saul
Pinkman.
Goodman.
No, fuck. God damn it. That's
Saul Goodman. Yeah. Jesse Pinkman is the kid. Also a great character. You fucking jump on that shit because there's just not that many.
Remember how his girlfriend dies and Walter doesn't help her?
Yeah, she chokes on her own vomit.
That's a gross part. And
bastard.
Walter's like, what can I do?
Stupid ass mustache with his mouth wide open like he always does.
Jessica Jones.
No kidding, Kristen Ritter.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Her little small part where she died on her own vomit.
Oh my god. I didn't know that.
It is.
Interesting.
It's okay.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, it is.
But this is a fucked up way to die.
Choking on vomit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you gotta sleep on your side.
Or just don't vomit.
Or
just
don't do drugs. Drugs like that, anyway.
That's the
Like,
name of the
you-
episode. Just don't do drugs.
If you want to smoke some
Devil's lettuce.
devil lettuce,
If you like to smoke the weed.
I'm not going to tell you you can't.
I have friend who deal good.
But seriously,
Seriously,
don't
do
fucking
drugs.
do heroin
Don't
early.
fucking do crack.
I think what
you
he does-
morons.
I think what he does is called a speedball. Which
I'm sorry.
And don't quote me on this. I heard this story. I won't name the person who told me, but what they described to me as a speedball was basically, you take equal parts of a drug that makes you get really high, and you take equal parts drugs of one that makes you go really low,
Does it cancel out?
and you put them in the same syringe.
Holy shit.
No, it enlightens you.
Sounds like
Mark.
Sounds like you die.
Well, that's the thing. If you fuck it up even a little, and I could be totally talking out I don't know a thing about drugs, but like,
you shouldn't.
and if you fuck it up a little bit, like you can, like your heart will explode.
That's
or
what I'm
something.
thinking. Yeah,
Yeah.
your
But
heart will
it's
like not know how to react.
Fucking crazy. But yeah. So supposedly that's what they were on when she died.
That's so funny to me that your heart is like, I don't know how to react, so I'll just stop beating.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's tough.
But yeah. So God, we need to stay on topic. Mad Men. It's dude. It's a period piece. It's it doesn't pull any punches. It's very misogynistic show. Well, see, I don't even like saying that because it takes place in an era when it was the alpha, the white male, was the top dog in society, and it's a racist show in parts.
That makes me say it as brown man.
Yeah, like I mean, I like Kadeem was in the studio earlier. Like he loves the show too, and like we talked about it, like how uncomfortable it can be to watch, but it's a period piece. It's showing things the way they were, without pulling any punches,
Which I respect.
I respect that too, and I really enjoy it because it makes you kind of more grateful and more cognizant of the society you live in now. And but anyway, so fuck, I don't remember where I was taking that.
I don't know. I asked what you were watching, and you said Mad Men.
No, it was. Oh right, so I know a lot of people would like talk about that show as like, oh, it's such a sexist show. It's really not. Like, it is on the surface, but when you look at it, if you even just scratch it and you just look at what one layer underneath is,
Like, oh God, rights, Jesus Christ.
well, it's like all the men are like the top dogs, but they are boosted up by the women in the office. The women, Joan Holloway plays the hot redhead by Christina Hendricks.
I know
She
her.
runs the fucking gambit in that office, man. Like she is the brains, the brawn, the everything, man. She runs that shit like a fucking mafia, man. It's
my God.
crazy. And like Don Draper, interesting man, total alpha dog. He's the weakest motherfucker in the show.
Is he really?
He's he's terrible, dude. It's
God
all a
damn.
front, all a front, man. And like it's so genius to like this show taking place in this time when it was, the man's man, the man is the man, and things like that. They're just weak people, like they're flawed, heavily flawed, PTSD, because, it takes place, a lot of these guys fought in wars.
Yeah.
Because there's a character named Roger Sterling who fought in the Pacific Theater in World War II. Total racist, like a very racist guy.
As you would be after that.
There's
Yes.
actually a scene where he paints his face up in blackface, which is kind of
Oh, that's unacceptable.
it's very uncomfortable, but you got to recognize like
the time
it takes place in, and like these characters do really kind of shitty things, but I don't want to say you understand, but you don't empathize with why that you
But you get it.
you understand. You're like, oh, you're kind of fucked up in the head from
But I
like the
get it.
war and things
I
like
knew
that. Like you got something going on in your head that I can't understand.
It's cold racism.
Well, yeah, that doesn't make what you're doing right.
yeah.
It just
Means I get it.
I understand where it comes from, I guess. But anyway, so great show, great fucking show. We could talk about Akira, but we're kind of coming up on time.
Akira.
Tetsuo! Kaneda!
I have so many weird feelings about that movie.
It's such a great
I
film.
don't know what to feel about it.
Isn't that a good thing?
I guess
Well, it's something.
it is definitely
I
something.
don't know if it's a good thing.
It's something.
but it's a something thing.
I
It's a something.
It stranges me out, bro. It stranges me out. I'm so hungry.
I'm very hungry as well. I already said I was going to get Arby's. Wow, I'm hungry.
Exactly.
I'm losing my shit.
Losing my marbles.
Ooh, the fuck.
What's the time so I can cut this out? What's the time? Kyle.
Sorry, 1:25.
Okay, we're gonna cut this out too.
So yeah, Mark, do you want to close it out with me?
Yes, sir, brother, sir, man, dog.
Oh, buddy.
Passion.
In the last episode, Richard made a comment, and he
What
said,
did he
do
say?
more scripts.
He did. I saw.
He's really into it.
He
I'm
is.
glad he likes it.
I'm into
Rich,
it too, man.
if
It's
you
fun.
listen to this far,
I
which I'm
like how you looked at the empty chair.
I wish you were here, Rich. I'd love to have you again. You're welcome anytime, my man. You really are. Since, excuse me,
Jesus Christ.
God. Since all three of us have seen Akira, you can come in and do an episode, and we do a whole episode on fucking Akira.
Yes,
We can do this.
We definitely can.
So bring him next time
Will do.
if you want.
I'll hit him up
Yeah.
after I eat and take a fat ass nap.
But yeah, so that'll be nice. Rich, I'm glad you enjoyed the scripts because I enjoyed doing them.
I dig him too.
They're a lot of fun. This one was kind of near and dear to my heart. I don't know if we did it any justice, but you should watch No Country for Old Men if you haven't.
Next week, Power Rangers. That's not true. I wouldn't fuck you like that.
Well, I mean, you can do it. I'll treat it with the same
Respect.
respect that you treated with me.
Thank
so
you, brother.
just as long as we
So I want you to yell in Japanese.
I actually wouldn't mind doing that at all. We're all about respect here.
Yes, we are.
Not respecting other people, but respecting each other.
Damn straight.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck everybody who isn't in this goddamn room.
Shit.
Everybody.
Everybody instantly cuts the video off.
It's like, what did they say? Man, they're so fucking rude.
What are they selling?
They're selling chocolates.
All right, well,
And that's the tooth.
what does that mean?
I have no idea.
Well, thank you guys for listening. We do pretty good when we don't have a topic.
We do. We're just going
We
to
do
go
all
up
right.
and down,
You
left
know,
and sword.
I have a recommendation for the show going forward that I think we should look
Mhm.
into, which would probably make us more relevant. But anyway, don't want to do that on air.
Oh,
so
fair. Why'd you bring it up?
I don't know. I'm a bastard.
Moron.
But anyway, thank you guys. Well, last time I brought something up on air that I promised we'd do, we didn't do it. So, but we are gonna look into.
That's not our fault. We did try.
We're gonna try.
We're like, ooh, money.
well, we're gonna try to put this on Spotify. It seems to be the hang up is just getting an RSS feed.
Which seems so fucking complicated.
It seems complicated, but I feel like if
For
we
no
just
reason.
if we just put our noodles to it,
Can we just pay someone to do it for us? Like, I'd rather do that.
I don't know. I thought somebody was knocking.
No, it's my cabinet back here.
So anyway, we're working on that.
Yeah, we are.
Thank you
Trying our
guys.
best.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate those who do listen. Really, it means a lot.
It really does. Like having a consistent 8 to 10 people
It's pretty
listening. Who did I promise to shout out in the next podcast? Erilyn.
Good. God damn it. Oh,
Erilyn, that's who it was. Erilyn, we finally met up. She's one of the first people I met who was like, "Yo, you're the dude who does the podcast." I'm like, "Fuck,
like holy shit, people know me.
God, they know me by my work. That's a
My
strange.
work.
That's a
They
strange
know
feeling."
me by my hobby.
Yeah, really. But yeah, that was a very cool situation. Erilyn, thank you so much. In particular,
Yep.
You're real cool person. What?
I just gave birth.
Okay, I understand. I like Erilyn. She's cool. She's very cool.
She's cool.
Are
Are we doing shout outs now?
Yeah. Do you want to shout anybody out?
Let me shout out Hannah.
Where's she at? What's she doing?
She's in North Carolina right now.
Still? I thought she was back.
She'll be back this weekend. So we need to get
Neat.
we need to get her back on the pod before she moves.
When's she moving?
I don't know yet.
Let's talk about it off the pod.
I mean, I still don't know.
I
Off the
know,
pod,
but like
still
I
don't
just
know.
feel like you'll know more information
I
than you want to.
Definitely won't.
Okay. Well, shut up, Mark. Fucking good are you?
I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm not.
Thank you guys for listening.
Appreciate it.
We'll,
I just love that people are giving us the opportunity to really work through our passion.
yeah. Oh my God, you had to do it.
I had to do it to him.
All right. Have a good weekend, guys.
I love y'all.
Love you. Bye.